Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Affect Friday.
Don't affect
Don't Affect Friday.
Don't affect
Don't Affect Friday.
Don't affect
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, hello everybody, welcome back to Don't Affect Friday on Saturday, I guess, probably.
Hi, Seamus, hi.
We got guests. Surprise!
Oh my. Hello, how are we doing here?
We got Seamus and Barry with us today, which is two beautiful people who have been on this channel before and popped in and out in other places, and I've been over hanging out with them, and they've come over and hung out with me. I don't know how much, like, Manya has gotten a chance to hang out with you two, though.
She needs to come over. Come hang.
Manya turns up like at 3 o'clock in the morning at my house asking for coffee, and I don't know what to do. I just kind of...
Like,
I'm sleeping on the couch
you
again.
have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, come on in, I guess. I'm taking the couch again tonight. Whatever. Manya just chilling at my house.
Yeah, I'll need the whole bed, dude. I'll need the whole bed.
It's okay.
Not gonna share.
You don't mind a cat clawing at you.
So today
Look
we
at
have...
me! Look at me! How wide I am! I'm gonna take the whole thing. Have you seen my booty? It's so wide. It's gonna take up the whole thing. That bed will never be yours again.
Manya, you're the least white person here. What are you talking about?
Huh? What if that? Yeah, I'm brown.
So
like,
there's been a little bit of a build up to this one because we've sort of been skirting around the topic with our conversations about Rev and Wolf and Aaron and sort of that whole company and what they've been up to and sort of like
I don't know any of those people.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll catch you up. That
Okay.
They're all very interested in just having support for their own like vitriol and like they're just haters, and so they'll just like agree with anybody regardless of like whatever kind of standing they have about any other like topics or opinions. Okay. So like for example, Renelle didn't like that people who supported her were bothering me, and when I looked into like I looked at their Twitters to see who these people were who were harassing me, I was like, who are these people? And I found out they were like a bunch of conspiracy theorist Nazis. She was like, oh, well, but what about the way the Nazis feel about it?
I was like...
She started Nazi sympathizing, and so she got really mad and then told the internet, I guess, that her kid got beaten up at school because I said, well, how much do you have to sympathize with a Nazi before you're just a Nazi?
Right?
Sure.
It's like...
That really happened, right?
That definitely happened, yeah. Her child definitely got beaten up. Some random buttfuck nowhere town in the middle of nowhere fucking America, the United States, has a whole class of, like, however old these kids are, in elementary school or whatever, watching my videos. Wonderful.
In assembly.
Absolutely.
So, this whole group has been supporting an individual that you may or may not be familiar with. John Hamill has popped up a couple of times.
John Hamill, I know John, yeah. That's a blast from the past.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
That guy, yeah.
We used to do a podcast with him, the Free Thought podcast.
Yep.
God,
do you want to talk about John?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about John.
I can't help you. I can't help you with that. I've had no interactions with John in the last more than 2 years. I don't know anything about what he's doing or saying to anybody. I don't know anything. I blocked him 2.5 years ago because I have no interest in anything he has to say, and I can only assume that he doesn't care about anything I have to say.
Well, you know what happens when you assume.
Yeah,
so let's see how long. So we haven't talked to John in a while either, but we did do a couple of videos about him like a year or two ago, somewhere between a year and
more than 18 months ago, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and so he's come up a little bit on our feeds again because every three.
Also, just but just to be clear, he kind of started a bit of a schism between my friend there, Barry, during the show, as in the Free Thought Prophet. Barry left the show because of John's being John.
John's behavior, sure.
Say, right, Barry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, can you give us the tea?
And a lot of it was just politics.
What do we
and
mean by when
transitions.
John being John? Would love to hear that.
Being
Maybe after the
insane.
show.
Just
being insane. Oh, okay.
Just nonstop. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm taking my toys and going home. Kind of.
Okay. Look, I've
okay.
never spoken. I've never
That's
spoken
not
about this
insane.
before.
That's being a child.
Yeah.
I can tell you what happened
and
2.5 years ago.
Yeah, and he kept on trying to get the show to continue into a topic that he wanted to address, which was trans issues, and I didn't want to do it for obvious reasons. You know,
Yeah.
he knows I have a son that's trans. He's talked to my son.
Yeah.
Wow.
What the fuck? Yeah. So I was like, okay, guess what? I'm out and the show's fucking over. Goodbye. And that was over 2 years ago.
That's pretty cringe, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But none of that is related to why I blocked him.
Sure. Okay. You want to?
I have a lot of people. I have a lot of people that I haven't blocked who have all sorts of terrible opinions on all sorts of issues.
Sure.
So the reason I blocked him is because, well, we were talking about this trans thing, right? Mm-hmm. And he got into a thing where he just kept saying the same thing, and I said, "Look, John," and I said, "This is probably still on. It must still be on Twitter because I haven't deleted any of those." I said, "Look, I understand you feel this way, but I don't have anything else to say about it. There's nothing else I can say. I get that you have this opinion about trans stuff, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I don't have anything to say. So, like, can we just stop, you know?" And I said this a number of times, and I was perfectly polite. I didn't call him any names. I wasn't abrasive. I just said, "Look, I get that you feel this way, but I have nothing else to say about it, you know?" And he said, and can we just stop doing this? And he said, no. He said, for every time you say anything about trans, I'm going to put my little message underneath it. And basically, he was threatening me with eternal harassment. So I said, okay, so I blocked him.
You guys don't know what that's like, right?
No.
Yeah, so I blocked him. And then, after I blocked him, you and Seamus both told me that he was still attacking me on his feed, from which I can only assume meant he was, like, I guess, going out, logging himself out, screen capping stuff, logging back in again, and it must have been something of an operation, right? But you told me that. What did I say to you guys when you told me that?
Don't talk to me about this. I don't care.
Exactly. I said, please.
I remember. I was there.
Right. Yes. And I said, Seamus, the same thing, Seamus. Do you remember I said it to you? And I said it to you more than once, didn't I?
Yep.
I said, please do not tell me anything about John is saying about anything ever for any reason, because I don't care what he's saying. It's his own business. I fully support his right to say whatever he likes about me, about anything. I just don't want, I blocked him because I don't want to know anything about it.
And now here we are on a show where we tricked Barry into coming on without telling him what we were talking about.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't go on anything. Yeah, because I didn't want anything to do with it. But yeah, so I assumed what would happen is, and because like I thought he'd just say a few things maybe about Barry loves trans people, and then like maybe after a week or two it'd die down, you know.
Oh, you think that he would give up because there isn't even really any grudge to talk about. You just disagree on something that's foolish to disagree
about. Zero
about.
interactions with him of any kind for over 2 years, none. And did you say something about me this week? Is that why you're?
Yeah, well, we'll get into it. So, we've noticed that John has some bad opinions, but he also has this really bad habit of, like, trying to force people to have conversations. And so he's every about 4 to 6 weeks or so.
Yeah,
he is tagging and reposting his own posts, tagging me and Manya constantly.
And when's the last interaction you had with him?
I don't think we've talked to him in a year, maybe.
Yeah,
1 year. You haven't had any discussions or interactions with him in 1 year of any kind.
I did some essays on his so when we did our live streams like more than a year and a half ago about him, the cast report and everything, he would write blogs about it, and then he would take chunks of like what we are saying out of context, like because they would
he did that to Bearded Heretic too. Bearded Heretic is like, I don't wanna
Yeah, and then he would put them on his blog, and I would read his blog, and I was like, there's so many things wrong with the way he thinks and like he presents things. So I wrote 2 to 3 articles about it, responding to his blog, because I was part of that blog. So I was like, why not? I can respond to it. But it just, at one point, you can go to my articles section and you can find those. They're still there. And then it started becoming like this back and forth, and I was just getting, you get like, your brain gets tired of it. You need rest. You can't just like go back and forth with someone like that forever. He has time on his hands. I got other shit to do. So I was just like, listen, which is all fair. If he's retired and everything, he has time on his hands. He can do it. He can be chronically online. That's fine. I'm not judging him for that. But I had other shit to do. I was yeah, sure. I had a diploma and all. I have a full-time job and all that shit, and so I was like, I made one last article and I was done with it, and he kept going, and I was just like, dude. So I just ignored him after that. I was just like, I'm done. I'm gonna write one.
How long ago was that,
article.
Manya?
I'm gonna have to go and see.
Good number of months ago.
No,
now.
ish.
Yeah.
Months ago. Okay.
Yeah, months ago.
Well,
so my last article on him was, if I can look at the date on this one, give me a sec.
Manya's thorough.
It'd be very
I'll
strange
give you an exact
if, like,
timestamp.
February of 2025, but it was because he was writing blogs about it. Yeah, but it was. Actually, maybe it reposted because there's been time I don't know, but that's what it says. It is what it is. I can put it in the Discord.
Yeah, you can send it to me if you want. But
it'd be very strange if John was just like hanging around the internet waiting to see what Barry Purcell has to say about something. Like that's just strange.
That's
isn't it?
ridiculous.
Yeah, damn. That sure would be
like,
strange.
Nobody,
it would really be a shame if I just happened to scroll down here and I just happened to see him just a couple of hours ago posting and reposting about Barry.
So that's why okay. That was a couple of hours ago. Well, that's a coincidence because you asked me to be on this before that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a coincidence, is it?
Well, coincidentally, it would really be a shame if I just scrolled past this who to follow and happened to see him posting more about Barry.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It would sure be a shame if he was also tweeting about us.
Hang on. I mean, you guys did a couple of hours of shows trashing him, right? I get why he'd be annoyed about that and want to, like, get annoyed at you guys. I get that.
Sure.
What's he fucking talking about me for? I never did that to him.
You told him no, Barry.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that. Exactly. I just said
You're the one that got away.
Jesus Christ. Okay, now hang on. I gotta check out his feed myself. Hang on. No, by the way, I blocked him 2.5 years ago, but I unblock everybody on my Twitter. The 1st of January every year, I unblock everybody.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice.
But I didn't know. I assumed he'd be. I wasn't even thinking about him at that stage. I just saw his name and I unblocked. I thought he'd be done like in a week or two. So
he was thinking about you.
Hang on. Oh, you're not kidding. He's actually okay. He's talking about me. There's me again. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a reason that I was like, Chesh, do you want to talk to Barry about this? And she was like, of course. But we were like, we'll let you do your thing.
Oh my god.
Go and.
Are you kidding? Me and Seamus have been just talking to each other, talking shit the whole time in the background. Like.
Yeah, no, I know you and Seamus, but Barry not telling him like how much vitriolic John has been about him. That's what it was, right? It was like
because I told them, I made them promise me not to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, he's made a mosaic, a little kind of a chart here, how it started, how it's going, a little mosaic of my tweets.
Did he? Really?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
cute.
just scrolling down now from there.
Man, maybe one day when I do a stream trashing it, I'll just keep digging my
notes. Oh, it's right there.
There's like,
he had to make that. Oh my word. Okay, let's.
Dude, get the.
Jesus Christ.
Get a hint, guy. Oh my god. Like
I
thought it was just a woman thing. That woman said no to him. Nah, it's a guy thing too. The guy said no to him. It's like.
There's another
little random rustling in your bushes at night or anything near Barry? Or
he said I'm very stupid, very very stupid. He said, "All right. I mean, maybe I am. That's That's possibly
That's just his
fair.
opinion.
Well,
man.
I mean, you did fall for coming onto this stream.
Yeah, it's
But that's okay.
very
It
stupid.
still
Well,
puts
I'm not
you
clicking on
it
those.
still puts you above John. You're just below me.
I assume he thinks those two tweets contradict each other, but I'm not going to click on them because I don't care. Oh, there's me again.
Yeah,
Another one.
yeah.
Oh wow.
When I wrote
Okay.
my articles, just adding
And
on
me
the side,
again.
like as Barry goes through it.
Jesus.
When I did my articles, I
Oh,
gave
wow.
references under my articles.
Wait.
All my articles.
Has he been doing this? Has he been doing this for 2.5 years?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Talking about me the whole time?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sweet Jesus Christ.
Sweet
Yep.
Jeepers, yeah.
Atheist Debate says, I imagine John has a little scrapbook of Barry. Run, Barry, run.
Look at this, Lieutenant Hero
Which he
continued
hugs
fighting on
every
Lubang Island
night
for
when he goes
29
to
years.
sleep.
Got a little Barry bear.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Hiro Onodo again continued fighting on Lubang Island for 29 years after the Japanese surrender. Okay.
So,
He's put that in my tweet. Something about trans stuff.
one of my
Oh my
favorite
God.
interactions. Yeah, go on.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
word. It's not, yeah, it's not. I know he disagreed with me on the trans stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean,
How dare you?
he's attacking my Israel tweets now.
Oh, yeah.
Please
But
tell
Zionism
me
is
that
genocide.
that John is
Give me a-
pro
I
genocide.
need to see that. Please.
Oh,
I
I
know.
need to
I
see-
think he's a
I
bit of
need
a
to-
denier.
Just keep scrolling.
he's a
So he just doesn't like me then. He just really hates me. It's nothing to do with it. But though loads of people are
So
against
he-
the bloody
that
genocide in
messenger, is that
Gaza.
what's
Why is he
happening?
picking my tweets? And loads of people are
What
saying the
is
stuff I'm
this?
saying about trans people. Why is he picking on my tweets? I've had no
Also said
interaction. Can I
nothing.
just please say again? I've had 0 interactions with this guy for more than 2 years. 0. I have no idea what's happening here.
Oh my god, he did it
Why?
more than once. Stock's law. It all
What?
makes more sense when you. So he's like taking Barry's tweets and putting them together,
Yeah.
and he's doing it like consistently. So how long
There's
ago
me
is this
again.
one? He's got a tweet. This one, the one on the left, for people, it's gonna be a little bit hard for you guys to see because like the layout's just kind of bad. But it says, the one tweet from Barry is from August 5th, 2024, and the other one is from March of 2025. As if, and
Okay.
like, but
I
they're
don't
completely
know what they
unrelated.
say, no.
Like it, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't click on them. There's another one there about me.
There it is again, and they're the same tweets. Wait,
Oh, are they? I don't know.
yeah,
I
they're
just,
the
there's
they're the
another
same
one.
ones.
He does that all the time.
Yeah, he's just repeating.
Does that all
Oh,
the
and then there's
What
this
the fuck?
one. There's just this one account that supports him that I think that might just actually just be him.
Yeah, it's just a sock account, most probably.
Which one?
This relief belief
that's not.
account.
That's not him.
Oh, you know who it is?
Or not.
I've interacted with that guy separately a long time ago. I think he blocked me though.
Oh, he says only the most demented Chomsky-ite moron. That's me. I'm a demented
Mhm.
Chomsky-ite
Oh, here it
moron.
is. Found it. The
Okay.
lung bang. This is from July 5th.
Yeah, whatever. What else?
What?
I'm just scrolling through his feed now. That's you.
Oh,
That's
God.
Manya and Chesh again. Me again. I'm still a
Yeah,
demented
he's a
Chomsky-ite
fan.
moron. Okay.
Yeah, here's
He's
the.
a
I
fucking
understand
man.
Zionists have no interest in facts or data when Ireland is anti-Semitic. LOL. And then it's just like, what does the
Yeah.
data tell us? And then he's like,
Yeah.
this
I
one
don't even
actually
know,
is
man.
quote. This one is actually quote tweeting you. It's not just a screen grab of what you said. This is actually your tweet.
Oh. Well, I don't. I have my Twitter set to not get any notifications unless I follow you.
Well, yeah.
So I don't get any notifications from. Most of my tweets, if they're reblogged or commented on, I won't get any notifications for it.
Why is that
So I didn't see
offset
that. If
now?
I saw it, I'd know it.
What the hell? There we go.
There's another one. Chomsky moron again. Okay.
Yo, he's super
There's
mad at
and
you.
Chesh. You and Chesh
He's
again.
so mad.
What
Well,
did
yeah,
you
I know why he's
do
mad
to
at you
this? What
guys.
did
Why
you
is he
do
mad
to
at
this
me? I
poor
don't-
man?
I have no idea. I asked him. I said, "Look, I know you feel this way. Please, can we just stop talking about this?" That's it. I wasn't mean. I didn't call him any names. I didn't call him a moron or anything. There's
Wasn't
you guys
it
again.
over prisons? Was that what it was? Prisons and trans issues?
I don't
Was that
know.
what it,
I don't know what it was. We were definitely talking about trans stuff, and I said, "Look,
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say about this, man. So I'm not going to." And then I had to block him because he said, "I'm going to keep saying these things at you forever." And I said, "Man, no, you're not."
Well, he is.
Okay.
He's true to his
Yeah,
word.
but Yeah, but I can't see any of it, so I don't mind. He's entitled to say whatever he wants, but it's
now
just
he's just
so,
doing it into the void.
It's so strange.
It's
He
kind
really
of
hates me. It's so personal. Me, there's me again. Morons. Only morons could believe he really hates me. It's so personal.
Yeah, he's really mad at you.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is he double posts about you. You'll notice that this tweet I'm showing on screen right
Yeah, there's
now
another
is
one.
the one that I just showed up here because he's just like a little while. So this was on June 29th that he reposted this. But this
Is that the
tweet-
bullshit study that he's citing there? That Springer thing?
Jesus Christ.
This, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's you guys again.
This is the 29th.
Like, I get why he's
and
annoyed
then-
at you guys, but like, I mean, what's going on?
And then, so he's like retweeting his own tweets all the time, and it's like one of the most ridiculous. Like, look how much interaction this has.
With
Oh my
One
God.
comment, and the comment is him. One retweet, and the retweet is him. And one like. Gee, I wonder if it's him.
He retweeted the same thing
does
going
that
at
a
me
lot.
again
Mm-hmm.
on June 19.
My
That's a big screen cap.
My favorite interaction that I ever witnessed of John Hamill when like I was having it back and forth with him initially, like when we initially did our videos, was
Holy Lord.
Generic Minority. Generic Minority, who studied, I believe, psychology.
What's the username?
And his username's Generic Minority.
Yeah, go on. No, I didn't understand what you were saying. I didn't realize you were talking about that username. I thought you meant you were talking about a generic minority.
Well, also that. No, so Generic was came in because John was going on about the Cass report, and Generic, who studied psychology and was a teacher, was like came swinging in and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And John refused to actually interact with him at all. As soon as he found out that Generic was like a big black man from New York, John would like not even talk to him.
Wait, what are you saying, Trish?
I'm saying that John's a coward.
So I will just say one thing that to John, the thing is that he comes across my feed once in a while. He does that. And he presents these links like when he quote tweets us and tells us that we are wrong. And he's like, oh, I present you with this paper. You know, if he thinks I don't go and read that paper, he's stupid.
Well, yeah.
I go and read that paper and I do my homework. And what I've seen is that all the papers he presents, just because it's a paper and it's been submitted and it got accepted somewhere, doesn't mean that you can rely on it. You have to go in there and study the data that has been presented, and also where that paper is picking up citations itself from. So all the papers that John has always provided me the citations are always from, there's almost no data. All are anecdotes, let me just say. And they are all information from advocacy groups.
Mm.
Yeah.
From
So
advocacy
there's
groups. He
already a
won't
bias
understand
in
that. He
that.
won't understand that.
Well,
he
and
thinks
won't,
that
because he's
counts as
stupid.
scientific data.
well, and also
He's not
advocacy groups, you have to know what they're advocating for. Like, there's an agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also,
He has no-
always-
That's the wrong take to get on that. He's not stupid.
Just
He has no
like
interest
Hamill-
in exploring that either.
No, he's
so.
stupid. Being stupid is a
And just like-
prerequisite for being
yeah.
a bigot.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
like it's all
I don't know.
speculative, all the articles, and that's what tells me that he just reads them, he doesn't know how to assess them. And John, this is where I'm telling you, I am better than you at this. Listen to me. I've got a bloody master's in engineering. Fucking listen.
He's so mad.
You-
He's
just-
so mad you have a
just
degree.
Just cause you are a man, and you're a man in like Europe, a white man in Europe, above like more than 40s or 50s, doesn't mean that you know everything about everything, okay?
Wait a minute. I'm a white man in Europe above 40s, 50s.
What do you mean? Only white? Like, why would a white man in Europe, an elderly white man in
Sorry,
Europe, ever
Barry.
listen to what an Indian woman has to say?
Right?
Elderly,
A
come on
person
now.
of color.
Well, one of the reasons why we've noticed him popping up again, that we were finally like, okay, let's maybe talk about him again, is one, the legal stuff going on with the Cass report. There are two legal issues going on that we should probably touch on because it's a little bit important. But like, there's something that actually matters, opposed to like John's Twitter war with nobody that nobody's
Oh my God.
watching.
Look what he's called me here. Chomsky-eyed, swivel-eyed fringe. Do you know what that means?
Oh, well, I'm assuming he means Chomsky, like the guy who wrote things
Noam
down.
Chomsky.
Yeah, yes. Do you know what swivel-eyed
Yeah.
fringe means?
Well, fringe.
Hang on, look up swivel-eyed. Swivel-eyed. Hang on.
Okay, he's got it.
It's a lot of photos of Marty Feldman. Do you think I look like Marty Feldman? Is that the joke?
Maybe.
Chesh, all my articles didn't survive that I wrote about John shit. That just only that one, because I remember I wrote 2 to 3 articles about him.
Are you sure they're not on the community tab?
Maybe it's maybe the swivel-eyed fringe thing is
they're linked on the community.
I posted about
maybe they are.
My eyesight is going because of my diabetes. You know, my eyesight is degrading.
That's rough.
So maybe he's making a joke about me having diabetes. I don't know what swivel-eyed means.
Seriously?
Larry thinks I look like Martin Feldman. Yeah,
I don't know. I've been called bug-eyed.
I don't know.
I've been called bug-eyed, so it's just like they just have to go for the personal jabs. Not by John.
Yes, it's also personal.
I should have clarified.
Like calling someone a swivel-eyed fringe. It's very personal language.
I don't know why you would do that. This is what abusers do usually when they don't have logic left. When they know that you have just cut the ribbon, right? You've cut the connection. That's what abusers do. They try to get a reaction out of you by trying to hurt your feelings. And John is one of those people. He's trying to hurt our feelings, and we're just like, yeah, we're just going like that meme, like, yeah, dude, that's just your opinion, man. Whatever.
I'll allow it.
It's like, yeah, that's what this is. And if John thinks that I don't read whatever he links, he's stupid. I do read whatever what
you guys
he
again.
I give him that. Yeah, I give him that courtesy. But the reason I don't respond to him is because the stuff he links is not worth responding to. Just like that fucking cast report, it was stupid.
Oh no, that's a bedrock
page,
of
and I was
science.
just like,
It's a bedrock of science. Just ask John Hamill.
Yeah.
I just mean the
me.
thing that gets me about this kind of stuff is that like he also presents himself as if he's the logical and rational one, as if this is definitely normal hinged behavior.
Yeah. Everybody else in the room is just a bunch of bleeding idiots. We're
and
all
like
the paper
we're all so emotional.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'll just say in the end,
these...
John, all the papers that you provide me, they're just all like they're just papers masquerading as like literature review, and they're full of bias. That's what you provide me. You just provide me with articles that that just there's a mask that they're trying to pass these things off as literature review when they're not. So just get a hang of yourself. If you want to understand how to assess papers, you can come to me. But obviously, if I provide you my services on how to do that, I will charge you for that. I am expensive.
Or go to college.
Very dumb indeed.
College. You can go to college classes. I'm sure there are college classes that can teach you about how to assess and review, papers.
Hey, I mean, it might even count as like retooling yourself as an older gentleman trying to exist in the modern world.
Exactly. That offer is open for you, John. But I know, I don't know, like, if you will accept that offer or not. I'm like, still nice to him.
Actually going and I'm not kidding though. Actually going and doing a course would probably do John a lot of good. Because then he would actually get out of the house and interact with people. Me and Seamus, in real life.
We were on a podcast with him for years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I never picked anything off him that would make me think he was stupid. He was right-wing, yeah, but like that was part of the appeal of having him on the podcast, because I'm very left-wing. And we had conversations and so on. And off camera, he was never anything but completely nice to me. There was one time he got drunk and started shouting abuse at me, but I'm blaming him on the alcohol for that.
This is the difference between so this is what happens when you've got somebody who's just going like they only exist to do like when they're going to do Twitter warfare is now there are degrees of separation. If John was to call into this show right now, it would take a little while before he went like off the handle. right? It would be a little
Okay.
bit before he started, like, yelling and screaming and going off, because he's dealing with us more in a direct manner where he has to look at us face to face and say these things directly. And so on Twitter, there's these degrees of separation. And it also doesn't help that he's been hanging out with fucking Steve. And I don't know if you've looked at the fucking shit Steve has been saying lately.
I try to avoid.
I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you like one or two, because now I feel like you need to know.
Just add one more. Just add one more thing to this, though.
Okay. By all means.
Definitely noticed, like within the last year of the show before we ended it, that there was a change in him, and this was something that I brought up to both Barry and Martin, who was also in the show. Like, what the fuck's going on with him? Because he seemed like he was more, easily triggered, getting a little bit more volatile about, just trivial matters, and obviously it's spilled onto Twitter.
Did he eat concrete?
But none of that would make me. That would make me think he's stupid.
Did he?
I don't think he's stupid at all.
No,
he's intelligent.
Something fucking wrong. That's all. Yeah.
So
it's just that he seems to be trying to hurt people, which is strange. I don't know.
Steve,
he's used very personal language about me there.
Steve is decided.
Like I personally insulted him.
Steve has decided to go full birther.
Oh God! Come on.
This Saskia Omar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot.
Let me just adjust this so you guys can see it a little bit better. Yeah. So, but it's never about a white guy.
No.
Yeah. Right.
Why would it ever be about a white person?
No.
So he's.
But he's not racist, y'all. He's not racist.
Definitely not racist.
And he's not a bigot against trans people either at all. So
Trump wants it investigated, so Trump tends to get what he wants when it comes to running America. Like, what? It is. It's disgusting. Like it's some of the worst and it's shitty because like these were people who were right leaning, but have gone so far off the rails into just being vitriolic, hateful shitbags for literally zero reason while pretending they're on some kind of intellectual high horse. And like I think the reason, maybe I'm wrong. Besides Steve's head injury, which is one thing, but that doesn't apply to John. It's that other white men in power, like supposedly cis men, in power, have given them permission that this behavior is acceptable, okay, and normal. So before, there were social expectations and social boundaries that sort of kept them in line, and now as those have eroded, particularly in the United States, and to a lesser degree, but a degree in the UK, have sort of just enabled this behavior. Like, look at this. Tomorrow's signing of the one big, beautiful bill is the beginning of the end of the Democratic Party, and they all know it. And that's why they fought so hard against it. That is why they were trying to... Steve is a fucking veteran, dude! He's a DEI hire! He's screwed! He's got health issues. He talks about them all and bitches and moans about them all the time and uses them as an excuse or as a shield for people criticizing him. But he's fucking, happy that he's, gonna get no Medicaid at all.
And also, if he's trying to say that the Democrats fought back against it, Chuck Schumer trying to change the name of the bill was as far as they fucking went.
Yeah.
So,
this is laughably incorrect.
Didn't Steve have some health problems a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
He had health problems. Yeah. I wonder how he got that clear that he was looking for around that time.
But Steve and John are best buddies, which is why we keep seeing John. We keep seeing John because Steve's friends with him, and so Aaron and Wolf and Rev are supporting John because they don't care what John is actually saying. They just like that John doesn't like me and Manya.
Yeah, that's all.
Like John is out here misgendering trans people and like calling trans women men, and Aaron's clapping along like a fucking moron seal. Or yeah, Chesh and Manya are wrong. Fuck trans people because priorities, right? Like what the fuck are those?
Is Rev from the show you guys did before?
No, we never worked. I think I had Rev on once or twice, but he wasn't. We didn't work with him.
Sorry, I'm thinking of somebody else. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah. Rev was a guy that was around, but he's just around being a pain in the ass at the moment. I mean, maybe that's too much. I've sort of been eating popcorn and watching him fucking cry and bitch and moan like a little baby.
Jesus Christ!
He has a toxic cycle.
Growing.
You're still scrolling?
Yeah,
Did you keep a tally?
God.
You need to do this again, and you need to keep a tally of how many times it's me and Manya and how many times it's you. Why isn't it Seamus? Seamus, why isn't it you?
I don't know. I'm not complaining. That's fine.
You're like, please
sure
don't.
After this, I'll get something.
I will tell you why. I'll tell you why. This whole thing that John is doing, it's a performance. You know, he's performing that he cares about the children. He cares about the children. So if he talks
to do with me?
If he talks to Sean, who has a kid who has transitioned, he cannot do that anymore. He has to admit that
he's Sean because you were thinking of Wolf.
Just any random Irish name.
Sorry.
I've been called worse. It's okay.
There is Hardy O'Dwyer there up in the corner.
I'm gonna disappear. Bye.
My mom's.
I'm back.
Bye.
Sean, what the fuck? Seamus. Okay.
It's almost like it's 5 in the morning for Manya or something.
Yeah, really.
Okay, so because if he starts confronting Seamus directly, his whole mask of this and this performance will just go away. It will just slip that he's a fucking transphobe. That's why he's not interacting with Seamus. His whole thing is, oh, I support the trans community, but our children, oh my god, clutching the pearls. As soon as he interacts with Seamus, and he will not be able to, because Seamus and his family, they're a living example of something that's been successful, if I'm not wrong. And that pisses him off. And that shows him a mirror that how wrong he is about all this. So that's why he's not interacting with Seamus.
We would have the show, right? And either post show or even during show, there might have been something brought up about trans folks. It was usually benign, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we would do a post show, show chat, just the 4 of us, or sometimes the 3 of us. Mm-hmm. And if they started asking questions, or just my son was here, or whatever, he would sit down and entertain and answer all the questions earnestly to John. And John seemed to be curious and empathetic. And then now, what the fuck, bro? Even when it started, my son tried to talk to him on Twitter about this, and he dismissed it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? So because it will be out there. If he interacts with people who have been successful, it will be out there that he's a fucking transphobe.
Well, these people will literally interact with the one person.
Fuck me. Am I going to have to transition to get him to leave me alone?
Yes.
God.
Jesus, Barry.
Hold on.
That's why you invite me onto your show, guys.
What?
Let him cook. Let him cook. Wait a second.
All of our
just
cooking.
like that, we were cancelled.
There's too many trans people who watch this show.
And okay, for John, I'll clarify one more thing, because he keeps on going about this app where people.
He's not going to watch this, is he? How's he going to?
Oh, he's watching it. I guarantee you.
He's watching.
If he's not watching live, he's going to watch it later. One time he asked me, I was like, bro, why don't you actually interact with the points that were made in our
engage
video.
With the arguments.
And he said, well, send me timestamps of what I should interact with. I then proceeded to take our entire 2-hour show and timestamp every 10 minutes of it in order.
It's not like he doesn't know when the show is, right?
you know.
So he could easily be in the chat and interact, if not flat out come on the show.
Yeah.
So
he had more than one opportunity to come on the show if he wanted to 2 years ago.
Again.
If I can go through his multiple articles and read them and criticize them and like take them down and then find references for them and then read all the stuff he's linking, like all the articles he is, if I can do that, I'm sure he's capable of sitting through our live streams and sifting through it. If he is not, then he's nowhere near to my capabilities.
He's lazy.
As I am.
Or not able.
He's lazy. I'm not lazy. When I get fucking petty ass Chesh, I will go and I will find shit.
True. Money is very
it's like, and that's what
I quit out. I stopped. Like I'll block him again though, because I can't. That's just ludicrous.
It is a little bit. It's a little bit absurd. It is very much like it's behavior that's been a little bit normalized, but it is very like. Could you imagine somebody doing that like at your house, or like if somebody was sending you letters, or like physical letters, like you wouldn't do it to somebody at a bar. You'd get punched. Like you get kicked out of the bar. He's not lazy. Chad is telling us that he's not lazy. He's a coward, and it's like also that because he uses laziness
the block isn't going to stop
as
him. He's just going to go in under a different account and screenshot, but like make him work for it, I guess.
Yeah.
I put up walls to see if he'll fight his way through. Is that it? I don't know. I watched a lot of 90 Day Fiancé. See if anyone cares enough to break them down.
Like, what is this? Like, this is his articles, and he's talking about the Irish military.
I haven't seen any of the
articles.
And, like, he's talking about Ukraine. And
what does Ukraine have to do with Irish? What?
Is that really why you wanted me on today, to talk about John Hamill?
Yeah.
You just picked up on that?
Surprise!
Yeah.
Like I said, we should mention like his main issue with us was that we didn't agree with Steve because he came at us sideways initially.
Steve,
right?
That wasn't the trans thing.
No.
Oh.
He made it about the trans thing, but his reasoning seems to be that because we called Steve out for being transphobic.
Okay, and he's defending Steve.
He's defending Steve. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, birds of a feather flock together until the cat comes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about Steve McCrae. I haven't looked at his feed for about 2 years, so at the same time I haven't looked at John Hamill's feed.
Bruh. He's got a lifetime restraining order because he wouldn't stop harassing a lady.
No, Steve does.
Quality people.
Yeah.
Harassing? What was he using to harass her? Like, what means? What media?
The internet. He was using his YouTube channel, his Twitter, his Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was saying things about
He accused her of swatting.
He accused her of swatting. He called up and got a hold of her real life family. He also tried to frame her in court in California for something that she didn't do.
When you say swatting, you mean she's saying he accused her of sending the police to his house?
Yeah.
And she did not do this?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
There's no evidence that she did this. In fact, I got the SWAT footage.
If you're gonna,
I got the body cam footage.
If you're going to accuse somebody of something, you should probably have evidence of it. Certainly,
you would think that he was on a call that got recorded where he said he didn't actually know that this woman did it, but he was going to present it in court as if she did anyway.
Oh, and knowingly lying.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't just paranoid about her. He
also in his court filings, which were public, which I also got a hold of for $1.
Yeah, you did.
Because of course I did. Anybody can go get it. You pay $1 and anybody can get it. You don't have to even live in the United States to get it. See?
I was able to follow his case.
He lied. He lied in his initial filing, saying she did shit that she definitively did not do.
He accused her of making accounts and starting trying to get personal loans in his names when there's no way of knowing who did it.
Yes, perjury. Yeah, under penalty of perjury. Yeah.
He said all that.
So he did all that, and then he continued on. He made the accusations of swatting after he had a temporary restraining order from this lady.
Yeah,
and
after.
Did John say something? Was John defend him in this?
John, I don't think John said anything about this. I think that he's
Okay.
coming from, but Aaron has
That's
defended
good.
John because John
I
defended
don't know who Aaron
Steve.
is.
Right, so Aaron also has a restraining order from this same lady because they're a
Lady,
cabal of fucking crazy people. And so John,
Aaron is
a mob.
Steve's friend.
A mob.
yeah, the judge described them as a mob outside of somebody, like behaving like they're a mob outside of somebody's house.
Okay.
So John is willingly taking the support of these adjudicated harassers
Oh, I
because
see.
he
Yeah.
doesn't because he
Yeah.
doesn't care what they're doing or what they've done because they don't like Chesh and Manya and Chesh and Manya said I was transphobe and I'm not a transphobe, so to justify my transphobia I'm gonna take any support I can get. And the same goes the other direction. Steve and Aaron and whoever don't care about what John is actually saying or his transphobic bigotry because they don't like the people I don't like, therefore I'm gonna support whatever
You said
they're
erection,
saying.
right? I didn't mishear that.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Okay, cool. She
yeah,
gets $10. She has 5
ridiculous.
words, and if she says all of them in the podcast, she gets $10. That's erection down. Take that one off the list.
It was.
Click the bingo
So
card.
yeah, that's what it is. Because these people, how many people are there now? Chesh, Aaron, Sean, Megan,
Are
moderate
you asking the
streamers,
number of people
Suzanne.
that have restraining orders from this same scenario?
No. Total number of people who cannot handle 2 women.
Oh,
2 women. We are 2 women, and they cannot handle us, and they have to like come together, and keep aside their differences so they can attack us.
like they're colluding with
What a-
Nazis. They don't care.
They don't care.
And does Steve come at you with the trans stuff as well?
Sorry?
Does Steve come at you with the trans stuff and Aaron and so on? All those other
Steve
people? They come at
tries
you?
to pretend we don't exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
So
like,
Steve
even
is
that's-
trying to
that's
do
alright,
what
then.
you're doing, but also doesn't shut up.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he tries to address us without using our names, but says he's not addressing us, but then
okay.
somebody directly
He
asks him,
uses-
and then he says, well, I'm not addressing them, but, and then proceeds to talk for
okay.
2 hours.
It's a very
He uses
stigmatized word.
What do you call
circumlocution.
that?
Doing a lot of lifting.
Some- word for that.
Circumlocution. Circumlocution.
No,
Butt is doing
it's like passive
squats.
aggressive. That's it.
So yeah, he did, and I used that word in my statement when I did my statement to submit to the court again, like to, what do they document as harassment? I use that word a lot. I'm like,
It's so
they all-
weird to see like apologetics for the most appalling violent offenders. It's like you do know that adjudicated Trump raped a teenager, right? Like, what are you talking
What?
about?
Yeah, he's not a fan.
That's
Can you
so-
click on it and see what he's talking about?
But he supports Steve, who's supporting Trump, and
I
he
know.
supports Steve's support of Trump. So what the fuck?
Okay, so what's happening now? I think so.
Different.
What I'm observing is
John
what's
doesn't
happening
support
now.
Trump, though. John's not a Trump person.
Look at this one. I have received a response to my article on luxury beliefs and the victim
That was
mentality. This is from February
was me.
2016. Sorry,
That was
February
me.
16th, 2025. So, like, yeah, he's
That's me.
responding to Manya on his blogs. What's this one?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there were like, I put, click on that thing. He says an article, and when you go up,
This one's about
Received a
you
response.
too.
yeah, I know.
Right.
He's responding to
Right.
my article. That's what he's. I wrote 2 to 3 articles. That's what I did. Can you go at the top? He says that I think so. He's provided a link. If you click on it, does it show your community tab or does it show my Twitter? Can you go there?
That goes back to his own thing.
What the fuck? That is so dishonest. You.
I
fucking
received a
bastard.
response, and if I click received a
Yeah.
response, it goes to this.
Seriously, dude? So you're such a coward. What the fuck?
It doesn't, and not only does it not like it to an article I published, which is the article he published. This dude is sitting here pretending he's fucking actually like writing articles.
Coward and dishonest.
Can't
That
even
is,
provide a
and that
source.
is why he doesn't know. If I had quoted that this is where I picked up this argument from, and when you write a paper, I would have linked it properly. If you look at my previous article, I've linked stuff for fuck's sake.
I've linked to my articles before, but only if they've been published.
Yeah,
these are published. But if you reference your own article and then link your own article, that's fine. That makes sense. But he's saying his link to is I recently received a response, and received a response is highlighted as a link.
From
so
who?
you would think it would go to the response, which would be Mania's article. It goes to his own article, and then this one to an article I had published, which is also a link, which goes to another one of his articles. This one makes sense. This one doesn't.
That's just poor. That's just poor, like
formatting.
linkmanship.
You know what I
best?
do?
Yeah. I like the format of
research is
the
done?
blog, though. I like the clean lines. It's lovely. It's a lovely looking setup he has there.
It's definitely better than Aaron's. You want to see what Aaron's
clean.
blog looks like?
Oh God, no. Yes, you do.
You can leave a reply.
I could leave a reply. Dumb.
Dumb.
Okay, so what's
They
this
are
one? Is
dumb.
this one related to something Barry said, I wonder?
Nah, I don't think.
But he's not making.
That's
Oh,
actually
that's something.
good
Yeah, that's
stuff.
something else entirely. What about this one?
Yeah.
Irish military. Missiles.
It's bad enough he's tweeting about me. He's not writing blog posts about me.
I don't know.
Jesus, you really hate me.
I don't know.
I received that honor.
I
You know
wouldn't be
why?
surprised.
Because he knows I'm right. That's why.
I'm gonna see if I can find the link to Aaron's blog.
Guys, I'm gonna have to go.
No, you can't leave yet until you see this.
Okay, but I'm running very low on energy. I was throwing up all last night,
Yeah.
Oh, you okay?
and I haven't from my, the drugs thing I get sometimes, the diabetes.
You just need to see what this
It hit
blog...
me really bad last night, Seamus.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and this woman apparently had a website, like www.herchannelname.com, and then I checked that website out. It led to a fucking porn site, and when I told her that for her own,
so she could fix
what
it.
do you say? Yeah, installation. She blamed me for doing something. She said, "Oh, you bought that domain name and you linked that porn." I'm like, what the? What?
It's so absurd.
So stupid. She doesn't know what the how the fuck. Oh my god, and it was so funny. I'm like, I did a favor to you. Yeah, I had a laugh at you because you just got that domain and you didn't care to check forever. And here I am trying to help you out,
So-
even though I'm a asshole, and this is how
fuck
you
is
pay
this?
me.
Is stealing gay
Gay valor.
valor a thing? This is
Oh, fuck
wait.
off.
All right, get your eyes ready. Get your eyes ready. You got a drink? You got a
Fuck
drink in your
off.
hand? You have a drink in
Yeah.
your hand? All right, are you ready?
Right, okay, I'm ready.
Look at what this looks like. Don't
Oh my
worry about
God.
what it says. Look at it visually.
No, the formatting is insane.
Eyes! Oh god, my eyes!
This formatting
That's
is
very cool
absolutely
formatting.
fucking unhinged.
Well, can we all agree that John Hamill knows how to format a blog?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like
Yeah,
John's
we'll give him
blog
that.
is like formatted in
It's
a way that I
lovely.
can
Yeah,
read it.
it's really
There's
well
links.
done, and you
It's
can read it,
clean.
and the typeface and everything is
And
great.
then there's this fucking horse shit.
That's very difficult. Oh, there's how many different sizes of text is there? 3, 4?
Oh, you want to count? Hold on. 1,
One,
2, 3.
And there's the
Ooh,
It's about 4, right?
This is different than this.
okay.
4 at least.
Oh, I'm getting the headache. Look
the
at
bigger
5.
one.
There's another one.
Right?
6.
No, that's
Oh.
the same as 5.
Is it?
Yeah, okay. So basically, but in some.
That one's different.
That's the same.
7. Or sorry, that's 5.
Okay.
That's 6.
There's about 5 anyway. Yeah, that's terrible.
It's
That's
so
terrible.
bad. It's so hard to read. I don't.
Should
One
go
of these
talk to
days,
John
I
about how to
should
format
read
it.
this. Yeah, I should read this out loud one day, and I don't want to because
And
it's
put on
like
different voices for all the different text.
Oh.
this is like there has been something bothering me for months that I haven't been able to put into words. It was in a Facebook message thread that I unwittingly worked through my thoughts and
No, a
emotions
completely
after
different
I
voice.
reached the proper level of fed up.
No, completely different voice. Like there's been something bothering me
Oh.
for months that I haven't been able to put into words. It was in a Facebook message thread that I unwittingly worked through my thoughts and emotions after I reached a proper level of. I concluded that what was upsetting me so much can only be described as. Let me explain how I came to this conclusion. Just like that, different voice for every font. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to go before it's all
Okay.
over. I'm losing energy here.
Now I know what you.
Thank you
Now
for
I know
inviting
what
me.
you
Can we
mean- what you meant
adopt?
by cooking.
Yeah, all right, that's
Yeah.
enough. That's enough. Like,
We're
there's
going to have
not
to adopt Hamill Protocol. Can we go back to Hamill Protocol where you don't tell me Anthony's talking about anymore? Yeah.
back to Hamill Pro. I won't drag you unwittingly onto another John Hamill stream. I promise.
very
Goblin's
much.
word. I'm definitely not going to
Thank
do
you.
that. Never question
Okay,
me again.
that's-
This is definitely not being recorded, and I
That's a
don't
little
know
bit
what
too
you're
much
talking
detail. It
about.
makes me think that you're not sincere. So I'm going to go. Thank you very much.
Go away.
This was fun.
Thanks,
Bye,
man.
Barry.
Get
I'll have
outta
to try to
here.
change my life. Good luck,
Take
guys.
care.
Bye.
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 Bye bye.
And now he's frozen like that, and I'm not gonna fix it.
He's like.
Seamus, what do you
Stare at
think? You got any? We've been live for a while. What are you thinking?
It's gross. It's all gross.
It is.
Goddamn.
It's bad.
Yeah. I don't know what I mean, what the fuck? Like, seriously, what did Barry do?
What did Barry do
Stuck in
to
his
make him?
crawl so
Yeah.
much.
He's obsessed with Barry. I think
Yeah.
it's because Barry doesn't give him any satisfaction.
Yeah.
Barry's
There's
just
that.
Barry's just ignoring him and giving him zero
And
satisfaction.
why is he so obsessed with trans people? Why?
That's a good question. Also, like, it's why does he
Did
care?
a trans woman rebuff him or something, and he couldn't get over it? Is that what it is? I don't know.
Maybe.
So I have a theory. I have a theory about like transphobia in general. And my theory
Give it to
is
me.
that I suspect that a lot of not all of it, but a lot of transphobia comes from just like a societal and personal hate of women. Because you'll notice that most people who most transphobes, especially like most men who are transphobes, don't give two shits about trans men. They only care about trans women.
Yeah, no, because I think some of his posts also attack trans men?
And some of it does, but most of it is trans women.
Yeah.
It's an overwhelming majority of
Well,
hatred towards trans people is directed at trans women.
He's still on about the Algerian boxer claiming that she was a man, that she's that one.
I responded to that also, didn't I? The Olympic thing that happened. And I responded to that in an article. I think so they just took away my articles that I wrote because they were supposed to be on Twitter if I'm not
I don't know, he's
wrong.
super mad.
He's still on
He's
about.
super mad about this giggles tickle thing, which is about whether or not a lesbian dating site is having trans women on it or not. And it's like,
See,
and he's like, I need to protect women's, and it's like, I don't think the lesbians
Women.
care about you, John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
and
he's
I think
like,
that that's what really
he said
matters
something.
him.
He said something along the lines of like, men being in lesbians dating pools, blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, no, men are not in lesbians dating pools, John. What are you talking about, you psycho? It's so
What
weird.
he didn't understand. The thing was that he was like going on like, why are transgender women allowed on an app for lesbians? I'm like, that's kind of obvious because they are women too. And I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, well, what if lesbians, actual women? I'm just like, fuck.
Well, a lot of it
It's
is
like,
rooted
if they don't
in this.
want to date,
It's rooted
It's like-
in this idea of like protecting women, right?
Yes.
Which is
Yeah.
already a
Because
misogynistic idea in the
Obviously,
first
you
place.
can't protect yourselves, ladies, okay?
Well, and obviously,
you can't figure it out.
but if you know and
Yeah.
think about the point for 30 seconds, the point is, oh, we need to protect women. From who? Men. Well, then maybe we should be doing something about men then, and not being concerned about trans women or trans men or women. Maybe it's just men that are the problem.
yeah, that's what it sounds like.
If their
But
argument is
that's what-
true, which I don't even necessarily believe, because I'm like, yeah, there are men that are problematic, and there are societal problems that are existing that enable and disable men to succeed, and really, I think that a lot of men are get crippled by society's expectations. That are like
Sure.
they get like emotionally like basically stunted, and they do not get the opportunities, and so they're like set up for failure. So it's like but these same men who are set up for failure are putting the burden on fixing that onto women either in personal relationships or in society, that women just need to accept that and do all of the emotional heavy lifting in relationships to either rectify the issue that they don't even know that they have, or just fucking deal with it. And the male loneliness epidemic is ostensibly like women being like, no. I don't want to do that anymore. But that's something that I've noticed is like a consistent problem with people like John and people like Steve. They do not like that people aren't carrying the burden for them anymore, and they have to deal with it themselves, and they can't handle it. They can't handle their own burden, so they blame everybody else for all their problems.
And this, protecting the women or protecting the children is just a narrative that's been kicked the can for every sort of bigoted approach, throughout the years. I mean, over here it was, we got to protect the white women from the black man. That's why we have to separate, and be in segregated areas over here. And then it was, we have to protect the children, from the gays, because the gays will obviously go after your children. Right. And then now it's the same thing. That
now it's a ban Dungeons and Dragons because Satanism is coming for your kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And now trans folk are getting the same fucking treatment, and it's the same fucking arguments. It's plug and play because they are fucking lazy people. Bigots are fucking lazy, and they don't want to. It's the same fucking arguments over and over again.
Barry and I are gonna have to have a conversation when he's feeling a little bit better, because we're gonna have to have a conversation where I personally believe, right? I think that you have to be stupid to be a bigot. You have to be, because bigotry requires you to be purposefully ignorant of and ignore information, and to me that is that's a stupid thing to do. That's just dumb.
I mean, people are indoctrinated in religion. I mean, I was formerly indoctrinated in religion. I'm not anymore.
Sure.
So maybe I was stupid for a period. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's being stupid isn't the be all end all. You can stop being stupid. Like, there's nothing stopping you from being stupid but you. But these are both men who are educated. Like, they know things. They've had complicated conversations. They've been in these conversations where they've been called out and have changed their minds. But for some reason, they stopped doing that. And again, I think part of it has to do with this societal shift to this authoritarian white nationalism.
Yeah, where it's like we should believe a certain a set of people, a certain color of people by default. That's what has been happening to me. If I might give an example, right, Chesh? Anything leveled against me, that if I'm a racist or if I cause someone to lose their job, is immediately believed. And if I come back with logical arguments that point out the fallacies in such, accusations, they are totally dismissed as me being obsessive or delusional or as being ashamed to my ancestors.
Which is a really weirdly racist assumption. That's a weird thing to say.
Who the fuck are you to tell me whether I'm ashamed to my ancestors or not? And then being labeled Mayo Hussein. That's what it was. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
People of color.
Somebody actually said out loud on video that because Manya said I don't negotiate with terrorists.
It's a saying.
Right. And somebody actually said, well, she looks more like a terrorist than you ever did. And it's like, wow.
And that person, a white person, was just sitting there and going,
really?
Agreeing.
Agreeing. I respect you. They told that person, I understand and I respect you. And I was just like, and that's what this societal shift Chesh is talking about. To believe a certain category of people by default without examining their arguments or looking for logical fallacies or anything like that, or loopholes in their logic, in their argument. Nothing, just pure dismissal. And what I've been told is if I do that on Twitter, because I've got a lot of characters that I can use to write, because that's why I got premium so that I could write shit. They're dismissing it entirely. It's a book. We don't read books. I'm like, you don't want to. You want to.
Now we know you can't read. About
purposely remaining stupid. That's being purposely remaining stupid and then using that as an excuse. So that's what that whole societal shift Chesh is talking about.
Well, it's
and that's
fascism.
really, really
it's
sad.
It's white supremacy. It's in
so
all
much
of its...
so much so that John presents these articles, and I go in there and I study that article. I'm just like, this is bullshit. I told him that, and he dismissed it. Why? I imagine why.
Because you're brown.
So
yeah, it's also imperialism too, because
that also isn't it.
Yeah, the whole Chomsky thing, that was another thread of, I think it was actually, maybe it was the night that Barry was referring to, that John wouldn't stop screaming at Barry, and it got to the point that I literally muted him. Oof. And that sent him over the edge. Yeah, it was fucking bad. And it was always, well, yeah, everything is just the British Empire's fault. The British Empire's fault. Or it's American.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's like, you're fucking Irish. You want to come out of the closet on that too? Where your loyalties lie? Because sounds a little sus there, bud.
Like, I get the meme, like it's a meme, but there are problems in history where countries and imperialism has been a problem, a notable problem. And there are things that those areas can do to help rectify and fix the problems that they caused, and they should take some responsibility. But you don't need to take it so personally. Like, nobody's saying you, the individual, did this thing. And that, to me, that's like, no, you're being defensive for something else. You're upset about this for a reason, but it's because you're racist, probably. Because that seems to always be the answer.
And that's where they just go like, nuclear. How dare you accuse me of racism? I've never been racist. I've got people of color as my friends. I'm like, that doesn't mean you can't be racist towards other people of color, you fucking dipshit.
Right.
There's also more than one people of color. There's
right? They're different shades, right? And it's
there's different shades.
I have said it myself.
There's different ethnicities. There's a really big problem in America right now. Like, there's a lot of them, but there's like two main issues, right? You've got, if you're talking about racism, right? You've got African American racism, and then you have a whole lot of fucking racist as shit towards anybody from the Middle East ever since 9/11 that spiked like crazy, and it's not something that gets talked about very much. But there are people that have, I've watched a handful of videos about this, of people having these conversations who are of those ethnicities, where like a black man from New York will sit there and be like, I watch people, including black people, white people, any people, be the most racist shit I have ever seen towards a brown person, and it's worse than any racism I have personally experienced as a black person.
Mayo Hussein, everybody.
Like, that's racist as shit. And who called you that? A black guy from the States.
A black guy called me that. Yeah. Okay. And the thing is that initially they would call me Mayo because
Manya's too difficult to pronounce.
And this excuse was given by Erin, who had been with us when we were around Steve. She was around too, and she was she was capable of pronouncing my name all the time, but she was making excuses for other people who were calling me Mayo. And I let it go. I was just like, yeah, it's fine. I don't give a shit. You know,
I made a picture of it. It's funny. Lord Mayonnaise.
Lord Mayonnaise. That was so good. I need to find that again. That was such a good art piece of. Chesh just makes art for me. I just go and like, Tish, can you please make this for me? And she just delivers all the time. And so I just let that go. And then they go for like so this white person, I'm all confused about the names. Rev, right? Sorry. Rev, he's white, right? He said, she said she doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Also from the States.
Fair.
And didn't provide the context to the person, to Sean, who's a black person, right? And then he went ahead and egged Sean again on and said, well, she called me a Nazi too. I don't know when I called him a Nazi. I have no idea. He provided no context, nothing. And he made that last sentence that of me calling him a Nazi on purpose to egg Sean on, because Sean is reactive, and that's what Sean did. He reacted and he said, I look more like a terrorist than Rev does, and called me Mayo Hussein. The thing is that Sean is responsible for his own
Escalating.
actions. Yeah, and that's what's happening.
Well, that's what
They
happens
are
with John,
ampli-
right? Same thing.
Yeah.
Just what
Amplify
happens with
everything.
John is he's getting supported by these people. He doesn't care who they are
Yeah.
or what they're doing. All they care is that they're stroking each other's ego. Because they think that stroking each other's ego is the only way they feel validated for coming about at us, because they cannot deal with the actual topics. Because these topics
Or
are
arguments.
difficult. They're not easy to talk about. They're complicated. Like, it's not simple to sit here and be like, oh, are we actually comparing what racism is in the United States between people from India or people from the Middle East versus black people? And the answer is no, it's not a competition. It's just a notable change in a societal expectation, which was already a bad expectation to begin with. Nobody's gonna and somebody would turn around and be like, well, why are you playing Victim Olympics as a white lady from a different country? And it's like, no, that's not what we're trying to talk about.
Wow.
That's completely dismisses the issue.
No, because that's easy for them to do, right? That's an
That's
easy
the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to have a conversation. Well, it's a lot harder to have a conversation about having the option to end your life, and when you should have the option to do that, and when it's reasonable and when it's not, as like a conscious decision that you are making based on your life situation, than it is to just say Chesh wants to kill babies.
Yeah.
Chesh wants to kill 3-year-olds. Of course, my response to that is, why stop at 3? But that's an actual question. I'm like, the actual question is, if you're going to allow people to unalive themselves due to whatever their situation is at this age, why would you not allow it for any other age? And what's your reasoning behind that? Because that's a complicated topic. It's difficult to discuss. But
And also, some 3-year-olds are dicks. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
so,
fucking send them to the moon.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you little shit.
Yeah.
Would you kill 3-year-old Hitler? I don't know. Would you? I don't know. Should you? I don't
You
know.
know, you know what I will do, since John has been screaming for our attention. I looked at the article or the paper he provided, right? And I did skim through it, and I came to my conclusion. I will review it for you, and I will put it out. How about that? I'll do it for you.
Well, this is the thing. These people always get mad.
This-
They sit there and bitch and moan and scream for your attention. Then when they get it, they complain.
They complain. And I'll do it for you. I'll review that paper. Not this week. I've got shit to do, obviously.
Well, it's the same with trans people.
I will
right?
do it.
As like, if we're gonna talk about euthanasia, and you turn around and we're gonna talk about like trans people, and they pretend these medical processes, like Intreat is bringing up, it's complicated. There's paperwork.
It's very complicated.
There's medical exams. There's psych
A lot of care
evaluations.
goes
There's
involved in that. It's not
a
something
lot
that
of
they just
money
snap their
goes
fingers
into
and
it.
do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. The easiest thing to do is a social transition. And one of the main and that's not easy either. It's just like the least expensive, probably, depending on how much you feel like you need to change your wardrobe.
Yeah,
It's not. I don't get it. My challenge to any, like, people like John and people like Steve who talk about, like, oh, these are just men pretending to be women because they want to get extra stuff. Go do it. Go be a woman. Yeah. Actually, go get a wig. Go get your hair done. Go get some fucking makeup done, and go and be and just transition socially for a month. And see how long you fucking last being a trans person. And then you can come and talk to me about trans people's experiences or women's experiences.
Yeah, like drag people do, right? People from the drag community, they dress as different genders, right? Go to them, let them help you transition, right? Go to a new place and come up as a new identity as a woman moving into that place. Just start from fresh, zero, as a woman in a new place. You will come to know what it feels like to be a woman.
Well,
and you fucking tell. Especially try being a woman of color.
Well,
let's go.
The thing is these people write articles. They make videos. Record your fucking experience. That would be some good fucking content. People would watch that.
This is one thing they never do. I mean, outside of the experience I shared, kind of he did behind the scenes with my son.
Yeah.
Where is he engaging, or both these folks, where are they engaging with trans folks? Where are they actually talking to them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's none of that. There's no empathy and curiosity.
Steve at least
beyond,
tried.
We have to protect the kids kind of thing.
He used to. He hasn't in a long time.
Steve tried. They got one person who were transitioning to be a woman. Yeah, and that was also
they
so many problems.
Try. They fucking brought Winter on to dunk on them and like gang up on them and berate them a shitload. It was awful. And Aaron was there for
and
that
make
too.
Them feel like, and make them feel like that they have to concede a lot of things
to even have the conversation.
To be even present there, to be allowed on the table to come and talk. And that I get it. It's very easy to fall into that trap.
It's coward.
But then I would say you're doing the whole community of women a disservice by doing that. I'm not saying you're not a woman. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're doing the whole community of women a disservice by doing that. I would just say this: if you lack allyship, go and look in the right places. I know it's hard. It's very hard to find allyship. But don't go to bigoted people like Steve. Come on.
There's it's complicated when you're trying to communicate and you're trying to get your voice out there and you need to find the right place and how to do that. And that it's not easy.
No, it's not.
And there's not resources to find who you should talk to when you're trying to advocate for yourself and others on the internet, which is it's almost not worth it.
Yeah. No. So
there are better places to use your energy that will make a better and more of an impact and a bigger difference. Again, John's not changing anybody's fucking mind, right? John's articles and posts aren't worth anything. They're not doing anything except feeding his own ego. That's all it really is. And ultimately, same with Steve. It's not like Non Sequitur Show is blowing up. It's not like it's doing good. It's not like
they're doing the important work. They're protecting J.K. Rowling. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Safe.
Yeah, Todd, what are you going on about?
She needs the help.
Todd, what are you going on about?
The other thing I find kind of just bizarre is how anybody can look at what's going on in Gaza and take the side of the Zionists. And that's another thing that John is double downing on too. And what the fuck is wrong with it?
Yeah.
And then again, this conversation is complicated too, right? Zionist Israel is one thing. Jews in other countries are other things. If they are supporting the if they're supporting people in Gaza for their independence, do not make it their burden to be accountable for what Jews are doing in Israel. That's not their fucking problem.
There's also another thing that I think people ignore because they're not actually looking at the news. The people in the Israeli army, the armed forces, are going on strikes because they don't want to do what their government is trying to make them do. There are numbers of them that are no, we're not doing this. These are human rights violations. So it's not even just that you have to just talk about the Israeli army because no, it's not even just them. It's it's a bad situation overall, but to try and pretend that it's happening is absurd.
Increased as far as that the portion of that, maybe I'm being a little cynical, but I think those folks have noticed that once they start traveling outside of Israel and they've been identified as somebody that works in the IDF and how they've been treated, oh, wait a minute. You guys really don't like us? What's going on?
It's happening to ICE too, right? ICE stays masked for a reason.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of fucking cowards.
Yeah.
So, again, and I would like to remind people that serving in the Israeli army is a mandatory thing. It's a mandatory law. If they don't abide by that law, they can get imprisoned. So, it's the same. It's complicated. Do not make it so simplistic and surface level.
It's black and white on an like a large scale, but if you start
Right,
when you start
map.
talking about individuals, it gets very complicated very quickly. There are a lot of people who don't want to participate in this. There's a lot of people in the in the U.S. Army and in the forces that do not want to participate in what ICE is doing. Like, if you go and talk about what's happening in courts around the United States with ICE, there are a lot of individuals that work in the court system that do not want to be participating in this, and that do not want to be a part of it, and in some cases they're doing their best, and in some cases they're not, and in some cases they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're like, I don't know what to do with this. There are border agents that are like, I have to arrest you, I think?
But there's a difference between the Border Patrol and ICE, too. That's the problem.
Yeah,
and
that's
a lot
another
of the people in ICE are people that have volunteered. And also, there's a issue of who is actually part of ICE, who is actually signed on officially, and who's been unofficially signed on, because we've had reports of that. And also mentioning, worry about the women. Isn't that something that they keep bringing up about these immigrants? We have to worry about women and children. Well, guess who's also been raping and molesting women and children? ICE agents.
Yep.
Repeatedly.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It's we're repeating what happened, and I'm sorry this is gonna be offensive, but this is an actual thing. There was back in the 60s called Operation Wetback.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happened. They began the border control. It was Harlan I'm gonna butcher the guy's name anyways. Harlan Carter, that's it. And they started rounding up people in numbers. They put people in trains. People died. People were raped and assaulted. It was a whole big thing. And then that guy went on to take over the NRA and turn it into a political thing. So, it may be an episode. So.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, well, and there's also people pretending to be ICE agents who aren't ICE agents. Except, they're how do we know that they're not ICE agents? We don't know who they are.
Exactly. And then gangs were like kidnapping people for ransom.
Yep.
Yeah, they wanted to took people out of the school, and then whenever they called the government's like, we didn't have people there. What are you talking about? So
right.
And I would like to.
Cool story.
I'd like to add another point to what Chesh was saying, that with people there's a difference with different agencies, like Shima said, and then Chesh said that some people are like, oh, I have to do my job, right? And there's some people who are choosing to stay in those jobs not because they want to support the government's bigotry. It's because they want to make it easier for people. For example, like, if arrests do happen, if children do get separated, they want to look after those people to make sure that they don't get separated forever or get lost in the system because of that.
They don't want somebody
there
worse
are some
to take
good
their
people.
Position. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the correct way to say it.
There are some people that
about it.
There are some people who also just want to feed their own families, who are like, I don't understand anything that's happening, and I'm a pencil pusher.
Yeah.
But at some point it becomes the whole adage of I was just following orders.
Yes.
And we are already in that situation in both situations we just discussed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're doing crimes. We're committing crimes. I mean, they are kidnapping people. This is not lawful detention of, suspected. These is fucking kidnapping. There's no records of who they're taking or where they're going. This is kidnapping.
I've watched and I've asked multiple times, and I'm going to keep asking. I'm like, what's the point of your Second Amendment?
Yeah.
What's the point? Yeah. I don't understand.
Speaking of the NRA, isn't that what they always say? The NRA is there to rise up and help us, Second Amendment, right? Pick up the arms against a tyranny. Well, where the fuck you at?
Yeah, and it's the same with, I saw the photos and stuff coming out of Alligator Alcatraz, and I'm like, I don't know how somebody hasn't just thrown dynamite at this building. People were fine bombing Planned Parenthoods. Why are we not? Why, I don't understand why this building exists right now, especially. I said Alcatraz, Auschwitz. Yeah.
They're bringing in alligators and all this stuff.
Yeah, I just don't it was literally empty. I don't even know how construction on this building completed. Because, I don't understand why you wouldn't have, good people who live in those neighborhoods that would allow that to exist in their vicinity. Because, I'm like, all you have to do is, do a little bit of vandalism. You wouldn't even need to do a lot. Like, cut a couple brake
And
lines.
I'm wondering.
Do some defacing. I don't know, take a sledgehammer to some fucking shit. Like, loosen up some fucking.
I
It wouldn't be
hear
a lot.
direct action.
I'm also wondering.
That's Luigi. So.
I'm also wondering which private contractor is maintaining that prison. Which private contractor and related to which politician or connected to which politician is managing that prison? Yeah, and how much cut are they getting? How much cut are the people? How much cut are the gangs of ICE are getting for filling a certain number of quota every day or every week?
I don't think
we don't know
the members of ICE directly are. I doubt that, but I mean, I'm sure.
Well.
What they're feeding into, right?
There
into
is.
We have seen. Yeah,
there's a few theories.
So hear me out. Yeah. Hear me out. FBI does put out bounty, right? FBI puts out bounty. They have done that in the past. How we do not know that they're like in private, not putting out bounties. So it's like you give us 10 people per week, and this is much how you're going.
Oh no, we know for a fact that there are quotas that have been put out by Stephen Miller. That's a fact.
Yeah.
There's
not quotas in the big beautiful bill.
Yeah.
That's part of and that's why. Yeah, there's quotas in that bill that they just passed. And again, that
America,
that big beautiful bill that John and fucking and Steve are cool with. Yeah,
they all jizzed over. But I mean, they're going to places where people are working. They're going to Home Depot. They're going to vineyards and places where people are working. These are people that are working. These are not people sucking off the system as they claim.
Yeah.
They're doing that because they need the numbers, because they have to keep up with these quotas.
Because there's not enough, and they can't do it legally.
Yeah. And then they have to, because they have to justify it.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. If they don't have numbers, they can't justify it. That's like business 101.
Did you see how fast all three of us got onto, and even when Barry was here, got onto actually talking about the complicated, in-depth policy and topics and what is actually going on and what happens? What's the response to stuff like this? Oh, you're just calling me a bigot because you don't agree with me.
Great.
Or you're just delusional, or you're obsessed. Blah, 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 blah. They cannot contend with the actual facts of the matter, or they will cherry pick out. But that one guy, that one Canadian that was murdered by ICE, dealt drugs, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He didn't get due process. That's the
exactly.
point.
How do you know he was dealing drugs if he didn't get due process?
Exactly. Right, that's just like narrative being put out and whatever they want to.
You're just calling me, Smitty in the chat said you're just calling me a bigot because you disagree with my bigotry. Yes.
I will just say to anyone who tries to use that stance out there, oh, you're just attacking me because you disagree with me. If I have facts on my side, yeah. Sure,
I can do
take
both.
It as an attack.
I can attack you and also just like talk about the issues, because you'll notice there's actually not a whole ton of actually just attacking John going on. It's talking about
we're talking about in general.
Smitty also said dealing drugs isn't a death penalty offense. Correct. And guess what else isn't even a federal offense? Being an illegal alien. It's a civil offence. It's like a parking ticket.
And for some reason,
hey, you guys want to know? You want to know who was in a country illegally for a little while? Not terribly long, but a little while. Red's rhetoric.
Elon Musk.
Red's rhetoric.
Oh.
Reds was in Canada.
Really?
Reds was in Canada for longer than 6 months without filing his paperwork properly. Should Red's rhetoric have been put in Auschwitz?
I don't know. Maybe
here's
ask Steve.
Here's the other problem that's coming up now is the attack on birth citizenship.
Yeah.
And we already know that prior to him being sworn in, that they were already starting to, the private prisons were already saying that we need to expand because we've been told we're going to get record numbers.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is, and he's also looking to make deals with other places other than El Salvador.
Yeah.
So what's going to stop them from just saying, oh, citizenship doesn't matter anymore. You've now made a crime against the state.
Well, yeah, they're already saying, like, Roseanne was one of them he was truthing about recently, where it's like, no, these are people who are citizens, have been citizens, have been citizens their whole lives, have had zero due process, or they're being told that they're not citizens, or their citizenship is being revoked, even though they were fucking born here, and shipping them off to God knows fucking where to go die.
So,
and also the fact that one of the things that they attack is people that speak up against what's going on in Gaza.
Yep.
That say anything negative against Israel, and then boom, you're marked. And
well, it's the same. It's the same as like, and they targeted specifically younger people. They were targeting people at universities.
Mm-hmm. And in the university,
and they're starting with people who are people of color. That's what they're doing.
People of color, people who are educated, and people who are young, who they don't think will fight back against the system.
Right.
Yeah, and it's also like, okay, so now you're gonna start attacking birth citizenship. Got it. Why do you think any scientist, any business would want to move to your country when they know there's no stability?
People with JD Vance memes on their phones.
And I have a personal hypothesis, or a personal, you can say, opinion on why they're doing all this. They just want cheap labor for their billionaire friends.
Yeah,
that's what they're working towards. Undereducated, right? Tired, overworked, right? Too many of them.
It's about control,
right? And without any medical care, gives you a labor that you can control. And I think so personally, that's what they view their future as. They want a labor force. They don't want intellectuals. They don't want scientists. They don't want they don't want to go forward. They're just sitting there to provide labor for their billionaire friends.
Well, and keep in mind that
obviously they'll get the cut from it.
This is also like, keep in mind this is a ping pong back, right? Because there were civil rights advancements made, and this is the backlash of people in power who don't like that there are civil rights that are doing well. SAG-AFTRA, Obama, Medicaid, gay rights, gay marriage, trans, it's all like, anytime there's progress made on this, and particularly the United States is a really bad, the UK is doing it a little bit, it's not as bad, but it is happening. They
need to manage
they make these advancements, and there's this really, really bad like feedback loop where they try to bounce backwards and drag everything back as far as they can. And what's happening in the United States is happening really, really badly right now.
Yeah, and right now it's basically like whenever you change CEOs into a failing business, and they know that the ship is going down.
Yeah,
it is we're stripping this place for hard, or just we're stripping the copper out. This is what we're doing. Yeah, and that's what they've been doing. That's what
people voted for, right? They convinced the people that that the United States was doomed and everything needed to be torn down, and so people voted for that, and they went, "But not my house."
Yeah, because the idea is that it's going to be built back up and made better, kind of thing. No, it's not. Steve's not. It's got to be built up for the people, for the 1%.
Right.
They're going to make sure all of us little serfs fuck off and go away and are out of sight. And like Manya said, we're in the labor force, but it's just to build up all their little, countries and towns and everything, and maintain the roads and all that stuff for them. Yeah. That's it. That's all it's going to be about.
I don't mean to be doomer about this or sound like I'm being glib or I'm being sarcastic.
I am. It's okay.
What I'm about to say. Steve is not going to survive this.
No.
Like, he doesn't have the finances. He doesn't have the backing. He doesn't have the health. He doesn't have the care that he needs. He will not survive. He will likely die starving and or homeless. Like, that is what is going to happen. He lives in somebody else's house on a couch, who is a black woman working at like a fucking like a Walmart equivalent, whatever it is. Those jobs are not going to survive. He's a DEI hire. He's old, and he's gonna get his veteran money, and his Medicaid is gone. He is not going to survive the next handful of years. Maybe 5, maybe 10. But do not be surprised that Steve disappears from the internet. It's not because he wants to be gone from the internet or stop participating. It's that he's not going to be able to afford to be on the internet anymore. So what's he going to do? And again, I'm not doing this as, like, I'm not trying to be threatening. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be practical. This is what is going to happen in the direction these things are going in. Trump's not going to protect Steve. He thinks the military veterans are suckers and losers.
Yep.
He's already cut their benefits.
Yep.
So
the other part is this whole birth rate bullshit that they keep bringing up, right? You know, well, the birth rate's down, and that's why we need to get the immigrants out of here. And that
is Trump gonna send Steve a lady?
Yeah.
Is that what's gonna happen?
Well,
Trump assigned brides.
They were trying to push this idea that you would get X amount of dollars as a woman if you would, start procreating.
Yeah, I saw
right?
that, and
so,
the amount of money was laughable.
Right, but let's be honest. It's not all women that they want to procreate, right? It's a specific kind of woman they want to procreate. And it's like if you need,
according to Steve,
the idea of the
you gotta have
Go ahead.
I just want to put it because according to Steve, women gotta have like a certain boob size for him to consider them to be women. It's like, he said that on Twitter, so I'm just like, okay, sorry, please continue.
No, that's okay. But the idea of this, that they need a birth rate because of labor, well, then why are you kicking out all these fuckers that are working? It's, the reason you're doing it is because you want white people here. That's what you want. It's all about race. It's so transparent to what they're doing.
Well, it's interesting because it's not like the United States is a white person country.
No.
It's never been a white person country.
No.
Canada's not either.
The other thing is because we don't know our history, we don't accept our history. Yeah. We've never really been anti-fascist.
Correct.
Really.
I said that the other day, actually. Yeah,
we've never been anti-fascist. The only reason we got into World War II is because we were attacked.
Thank you! I've been saying this for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you!
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and even then, we still had, IBM/Watson, Ford, JP Morgan. I mean, there's a whole list of businesses and stuff that were all in bed with Hitler, still propped up Hitler. Fucking Bush's granddad, Preston, tried to sue the government because they told him, hey, you can't have, all your oil money and stuff, it's still in trade with Hitler. And he's like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. And they're like, okay, you'll do what you want.
Well, Elon Musk, even now, his family fled Canada because they were part of the Nazi Party in Canada. We kicked them out. We didn't want them here, but America never did that.
Yeah, and whenever he went to whenever his granddad went to South Africa, there's actual articles written about him as we got this wonderful white supremacist.
Yeah.
They actually had a big parade, big deal over this.
Remember at the beginning when I said one of the people that's part of this whole group who is supporting Nazis? You'll never guess where she's from. South Africa.
Yep.
Go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is for Africa.
Well, that's the other thing. It's really how many is there? Like 5 nations in Africa? They're basically saying "fuck you" to the rest of the world, kind of thing. We're keeping our own shit.
Yeah. There's also like this.
Awesome.
There's this hand-in-hand issue too, where you cannot just take private companies and say, "Oh, well, they were American or they're the United States companies, but they were operating and working with Hitler," and saying like that the government couldn't have done anything about that, which is entirely what Canada's been doing to Russia ever since the Ukraine they invaded Ukraine, ever since the annexation of Crimea. They're called sanctions. So, like, to try to pretend that, but the American government was assisting the Allies, all of the money that was slipping into everybody's back pocket was coming from Germany, is, I think, a little bit naive. But that's just me.
Nothing changes. It's like we just keep repeating the same shit.
I'm enjoying watching
where we're
the
at now is
shit
very
right
much
now.
like, it's like we're it's 2025, but it's 1925. I mean, there's a lot of like repeat, right? It's like the same kind of labor issues, the World War connections and stuff is all kind of tied together. It's a lot of economic collapse and just fucking buffoonery. It's awesome. It's great we get to do this.
I think I'm at the point where I don't even care. Like, there are people that support Trump, and I don't even care why. Like, I don't care why you support Trump. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I think the facts speak for themselves. I think the information that is out there and what's being done speaks for itself, and I don't care what you have to say for yourself. I think that something that Geo told me when we were discussing what is fascism over on Debate Hub, and he should be coming back sometime next week or the week after to check in with America to be like, oh, it's been a couple of months, how they doing? Not good, it turns out. Not good on that downward slope, that slippery slope. But one of the things he said is that once this fascist group is out of power, because they are self-destructive, they will not remain in power forever. If there's a silver lining, they will, the Trump regime, regardless of how powerful it does get and regardless of how much damage it does do, it will not last forever because it's not sustainable. It's not societally functional. It won't work. Is that, like, once all those things are said and done, the people who were supporting Hitler at that time, many of them did not survive after the fact because they couldn't live with themselves. And I think you are going to see the same thing happen when the Trump regime is no longer in power. You will see the people who were supporting this, who have realized what's gone on, and they will not be able to live with themselves. I don't know how many it will be, but it will happen.
That's optimistic. That's optimistic. We have such a poor memory. We have a hard time of holding grudges. I mean, look at George Bush just died, and look at all the liberals that came out. Oh, he was a good man. He was such a good president. Or fucking Henry Kissinger. They're all sucking his dead dick too.
Yeah, but
it's like
Joe Biden.
But if you think,
Joe Biden. Thank you so much.
But if you think
one of the worst fucking human beings ever on the planet, right? I mean, the only reason that he has any appeal to certain people is because Trump is around.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
He's the lesser evil.
Absolutely. It's the same with Hillary Clinton, right? So like the thing is though, is that when you shift from this ultra nationalistic ideology due to intervention from outside forces and internal revolution, it changes the societal expectation. Germany now does not look anything like Germany in like 1935, let's say. You could go back to maybe 1932.
And they don't want...
And they have written a lot of laws and rules and set a lot of things to ensure that this type of thing does not happen in Germany again. So the question is, will whatever happens to the United States make that shift? And I think that's a twofold answer. If it remains the United States, I agree with you. I do not think the United States comes out of this as the United States. I think the United States comes out of it the same way the Soviet Union got out of all being just Russia, where you have a bunch of smaller countries and you might still have a United States, but there's going to be other countries that end up forming outside of it.
That would be the best.
I think that's the best option, yeah.
Yeah, because there has to be some sort of burn down of the system. That's the only way this is going to be fixed, because the systems are so corrupt by both parties at this point. Because we have to look at what Biden and everybody else had done to. I mean, really, ever since Reagan, especially, every president has made things worse in many ways in the system. They've expanded. They've expanded the government. They've expanded the war efforts. The war abilities, the spying, the police, the militarization of the police, right? This is and the way that they can manipulate the economy to just total socialism upward, right, as opposed to downward. And the way that it's so entrenched at this point, I don't see it changing, and you cannot count on the party that is supposed to be the resistance of the party that is doing no resistance now, that basically built the same system and added onto the system that Trump inherited and was able to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, Biden still has more numbers as far as actual deportations per year.
Part of the issue, part of the issue is that the law is not, like, the law might be there that says this is not allowed, but the law is not being enforced properly. And so whatever laws you have are not currently functioning the way that they're supposed to. So how do you fix it? And a lot of that has to do with taking out literally everybody. and replacing them in their totality and making changes and removing amendments and things like that should maybe have not been there in the first place. But at that point, given how much of a haphazard, duct-taped, finagled non-democracy that the United States actually is, if you want to continue being the United States and treat the United States as if it is its own country, which it's kind of not, you would need to rebuild the structure from scratch so it actually operates in a way that's probably more similar to Canada or even more similar to Mexico, depending on how you want to do it. Right. But you cannot use the system that is currently in place, and you cannot use the system even if you were to move it back 50, 60, 70 years and reset it, because now you're just going to repeat the same cycle because there's no stopgaps that are actually functional. So,
which is, in a way, what they're trying to do now in a lot of different ways.
Right now, Trump is trying to burn down the system that exists and replace it.
They're actively suing the Supreme Court to gain more power to the executive branch, to almost eliminate them. And the Supreme Court themselves is also going after lower courts that aren't agreeing with their decisions. It's a collapse on itself when it comes to the rule of law.
Yeah.
Well, whether they're actually even carrying out any sort of rule of law, which when they do, it's incredibly selective. So
I think what you're going to end up seeing is besides the fact that you're already seeing like a complete disregard for the law, you're going to see a system collapse. And the system is going to collapse because there are too many competing issues that are not... So, like, we've already seen it in Texas with the floods. We've seen it with fires. We've seen it with, like, FEMA specifically. You're seeing it with ICE. And so the system that is currently... I think it is a mistake to view the current United States as a system of law that is currently functioning and isn't already collapsed and on fire, and we're just watching the flames of whatever thing happens to be happening at the time. So the question is if you want to do any kind of revolutionary movement to change what it is, instead of what Trump, which is a radicalized revolution, is trying to do, which is turn it into a fascist dictator theocracy, you're going to have some kind of some kind of resistance, some kind of revolution that does have some kind of functional structure to what it wants to be. And right now that does not exist in the United States. Bernie doesn't have one, AOC doesn't have one, the mayor for New York doesn't have one either.
Because they're all working inside the system.
They're still trying to work in the system as if that system is still functional. They still believe in that system. And, like, I can understand still believing that system. I can still understand wanting, like, that idealized version of what the United States was supposed to be. But you have to acknowledge that it never was that thing. It never even got close to being that thing. Yep. And you have to you have to have some kind of structure that you're presenting to the people, because that's really what the people want. The reason why people voted for Trump in the first place was already because of this messaging and their belief that the system wasn't working for them, because it wasn't. That's why you got Roe v. Wade overturned. Like, that Roe v. Wade never should have been overturned, especially with the Democrats in power, but the Democrats let it happen anyway. Well, they were the ones in power saying, no, we want Roe v. Wade. So what use are you? You're useless. So if you're useless, what's the fucking point? Why do you think so many people didn't fucking vote in the United States? That's one of the main reasons why Trump fucking won. And then part of it had to do with Gaza and Israel. And, like, Absolutely. That's a big deal, and that matters, but people are like, oh, no, we just want to shit on the people that didn't vote. No, these people don't believe in a system that wasn't working for them, and they were right. And you, the people who wanted them to vote for you, didn't provide them with anything worth fucking a damn. And so they're like, what are they supposed to do? Nothing. Why? Because you're not going to do anything. If a Democrat won, if Kamala Harris won this last election, this same shit would be going on that's going on now. It would just be a slower decline.
Absolutely.
That's it. Because the Democrats have, every time they've been in power, that same fucking decline has been going on the entire fucking time, but the American people didn't fucking notice and or didn't fucking care.
Yeah, because there's a huge
Seamus is American, yes.
Yes, people go to sleep, especially when the Democrats are in power. And a lot of that is also because the corporate media does that, right? Unless they have, some sort of fire or some sort of scandal, they tend to go to sleep on the Democrats more than the Republicans. It's just
voting for the Democrats would have changed nothing. It would have just slowed it down.
Yeah, I mean, ICE would still exist, and that's another problem. Okay.
Yep. ICE already existed. Yeah, there probably would have also gotten an increase in spending. Also, I bet you any money if Kamala was in power right now, she would have increased spending to ICE. Because
they just did.
Yep.
Under Biden, he broke all the records for spending for ICE.
Yep.
After the whole summer of, we need to abolish ICE, we need to defund the police and all that. What does he do? He gives more money to ICE, expands their powers and their abilities, and expands the powers of the police, and gives them more money too. Whenever the money was left over from the COVID refund, what did he do? Did he put it back into the economy? Did he give it to the people? Did he try to get it to more research? No, he gave it to the fucking cops.
Yep.
Okay? I mean, what the fuck, guys?
Yep. There was nobody that gave any kind of, like, the DNC definitively did not give any kind of, like, reasonable platform or do anything.
They didn't have a primary.
Right.
They didn't have a primary. And again, I fucking hate RFK, but they should have had a primary with RFK, with Jill Stein, with all these people that want that, be on that ticket. Yep. Let it fucking happen. Let it roll out. Maybe if you had a primary, the whole facade, which is a joke, that, we didn't know he was in decline. The fuck you didn't. He looked fucking terrible in 2020. Don't act like you didn't fucking know.
There's
right?
Also an
but
issue.
It would have been on display big time.
There's also an issue of people. Again, we're back like Bernie and AOC. Mm-hmm. They are not.
Which they aren't the fucking answer either. They're not the fucking answer at all.
Well, right.
They're both clown shows too.
But if you wanted to present, because I think people present them as like, well, why don't the Democrats vote for these people? It's like, one, because the Democrats don't really want them, and two, because they are not capable and do not have.
Look at who they're attacking now. Look at who they're attacking now. They're attacking the mayor of New York. Why are they attacking him? The full might of the DNC is going after him.
Yep.
A lot fucking harder than era Trump. Trump is using ICE to do this shit. And because he's at least pretends to be a leftist, or at least have leftist policies, right?
Yep. And they're still trying to operate within the system.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not even really a threat to them if they think about it. He's just a threat to capitalism, or at least another form of it.
He's not even a threat. It would be a blip. Yeah. It would be a nothing blip, but they would rather crush the bug for control over actually, because monopolies aren't good for the economy anyway.
David Hogue, he was a centrist, right? I mean, he's really a centrist, but because he's a younger person. Mm-hmm. They did everything they could to make sure he couldn't.
Same thing with David Hogg, right?
That's what I meant, David Hogg.
Okay, yeah. I think I must have misheard.
That's okay. Yeah, it's Hogg, right? Did I say Hogg? It's Hogg. Sorry,
I probably just misheard.
Yeah, but I mean, he's nobody's first choice of anything, but he's a younger person in the fucking party.
Well, a politician.
They just lost that vote. The big beautiful bill bullshit, whatever.
Yep.
If they had 3 people that have voted, they could have overturned it, and that's because they had geriatric people that fucking died in office.
People need to understand 2 main issues, 2 main things. One, the Democratic Party, as it currently exists in the United States, cannot and will not stop what's happening. And would only slow it down if they were in power anyway. They as it currently sits. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. It just means as it currently sits. It's not about pointing fingers. It's about identifying that this is accepting the reality. And the other thing that you have to understand is that the American people, in large numbers, voted for this. This is what they wanted, and they're happy with it. They just don't like what it inconveniences them in particular, because they wanted all these things to happen, just not to them. So until the population of either individual states or large swaths of the people in America, like the United States people, understand that is actually the case, whether or not you like it, whether or not you want to discuss the nuances and like why or how or whatever, you have to accept the reality of the situation. The system is non-functional. The people that are in power in any point of office right now aren't going to be able to do anything that is different than what's already happening. It's just a matter of the speed at which it is going on. And this is what you want. So how then, if you accept that, then you can start deciding, okay, well, what if we don't want this? What needs to change? What do we need to do? And until you figure that out, nothing. It's just gonna keep getting worse.
Yep. You have to. I mean, the system needs torn down. There's no rehabilitating this at this point. I mean, and the other thing is, we're probably 30 years too late. You know.
Well, the fact that nobody up until in the goddamn year of our Lord 2025 was actually able to even undo the majority of the problems that Reagan did is like that alone should give you more than enough. Whether or not they're like Obama didn't do dick shit about undoing Reagan problems.
Oh,
because America just accepted that those Reagan problems were just the way things were supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the 12th term of Reagan. I mean, pretty much every president is just another version of Reagan, and it's just gotten fucking worse. And people point to Obama as this bastion. Obama wasn't, he was terrible. I mean, look at his record. He was terrible. I'm sorry, he was. He took us from 2 wars to 7 different theaters of war. He deported more. The kids in cages started under him. Obamacare was stuff that was written by the Heritage Foundation, which also wrote the Project 2025. So come on. And the people that the Democrats are talking about the future are Mayo Pete and fucking Gavin Newsom. 2 guys that would embrace authoritarianism, across the board.
Well, Gavin Newsom is such like a baked-in corporate Democrat, but the fact that he looks as good as he does when it comes to dealing with Trump just tells you how bad Trump is.
Yeah, but I mean, he's terrible. Look what he's doing in California. Go listen to his podcast. Listen to the people he's talking to and how often he agrees with them. The Steve Bannons of the world, the Charlie Kirks of the world. Those are the people you should be talking to. Especially as a governor in fucking California who has problems. Maybe you shouldn't have time for a goddamn podcast. Yeah. Yeah. It's all.
Well, it doesn't help. Like what we're saying, there are no leftists in United States politics. They don't exist. They're not a single one of them is actually in any kind of position. They don't, because they can't exist in the system as it is set up. Whatever whatever charred burn remains of the system that's actually there.
But it's also the narrative. The one thing you have to give to the right wing folks is how they've been able to just destroy definitions of words.
Oh yeah.
Like libertarianism and anarchism mean something else outside of America, right?
Yeah.
And the reason that those 2 terms are different here is because of what the right wing has done to them in the narrative. Communism. I mean, if you talk to somebody who's on the right that voted for Trump, they'll say Biden was a communist.
Any politician in the United States, right now that is trying to work the system, cannot operate as a leftist. They might personally be a leftist. That's different. They cannot be or operate or do any left things in government
because the system is not meant for that.
Exactly, it doesn't do it. They might like I say about Mark Carney, right? I personally think, based off of the things he said, based off of the things he's written, I think he is more left personally than he is actually presenting himself in the Liberal Party as a center-left party, because the liberals in Canada, because we're in Canada, not America, we do actually still have leftists. We need more leftists, but I think he personally believes in a more left thing. However, but to get things done in policy, you have to present policy that is going to function overall, because there's a really big fucking difference between operating for individuals in the country and operating for the country. That's the difference, and why we have a difference between provincial government, local government, and federal government, and those powers are different. It's the federal government's job to deal with Canada as a whole. It's not Mark Carney's job to make sure you get electricity. It's your fucking for the American analogy, it is not the president's job to make sure you personally have power. It's Ted Cruz's job and the governor's job to make sure Texas has power.
Right.
Blech.
Yeah.
It's funny, like how we just like started with John Hamill and just like totally veered off to like another
Yeah, because
topic
nobody
as
cares
if like
about
John Hamill had.
John, and he can't handle these kinds of
He
conversations.
has
It's
nothing.
complicated.
No, he can't. No, he will start. He will start drink. I don't know if he drinks, but he will start like.
Oh, yeah.
Told us he will start. He will start like screaming and shouting at the people because he disagrees with them.
Smitty says John who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Yeah. I'll just give him one thing. Yeah, go on, please.
No, I was joking with my son. I was telling him we were going to do this, and I told him that what I thought would have been cool if we just all got on here and advertised it. Big John Hamill debunked all this, blah blah blah. And we talked for 3 hours about nonsense, and at the very end, somebody said, "Hey, aren't we supposed to talk about John Hamill?" Who? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He would sit here for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You're like,
So yeah, I'll review John's paper. I'll do that. And for people who are like suddenly seeing this side of me, I used to usually leave my brains at work during the. I used to use it during work weeks because it's a lot, and usually it was just like venting my like extra energy. That's what I would do during weekends. Dump Fact Friday was one of them. Is one of them. Yes, but I participate in other programs also. There also I would keep it low energy because I was like. But now I'm just like, I guess with the environment that we are in, even online, I cannot leave my brains, at work. I have to bring it online, and I have to use push forward and use all that over here. Like I was thinking, what's the point of having those faculties as a person if I'm not gonna use it? They need to be used everywhere. So here we are. So you're gonna see a very different side of me now, and yeah.
I don't know. There's like everything's fucking dumb, dude. I don't understand. I think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why people want the current United States system back. It wasn't good to begin with and hasn't been functional since Reagan, so what the fuck are you fighting for anyway? I don't know why you wouldn't want a different system in the first place.
Because people, again, don't have a concept of history. They don't understand. People are just so embedded with the idea that Reagan was good. There's so many people that think that Reagan was good and don't understand that he was bad.
Also,
and,
go on.
Go ahead.
Like you're saying, I just finish your thought, dude. I'll say it. I'll end it.
Okay. But I mean, it's just the history that just people don't understand. Like, we are not taught our history here, and we are taught in a very flawed way. Okay, I grew up in West Virginia. West Virginia became a state over the slavery issue in the Civil War, right? We separated from Virginia. When I went to school, it was basically, well, things were fine around here until that John Brown did some shit. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's not at all how it happened. There's this idea as well, you have your jobs because of the wisdom of the employers. And look at how great, Andrew Carnegie was to give you the 8-hour work period. No, he gave us the 8-hour work period because we had a fucking riot where Pinkertons were murdered because they came in here as an army to attack people because they didn't want to work, fucking 14 hours a day. People used to bleed on the streets for this shit. That's what happened. Leftists is why you have a day off. Leftists are why you get to work 80 hours or 40 hours a week. Leftists are why you have these benefits. Those are the folks that pushed FDR, who was very much a centrist, to do the things that he did that gave us the benefits that they are fucking stripping away from us now.
Well, it's the same thing with women's suffrage. People think women's suffrage wasn't violent. People talk about the civil rights movement and talk about MLK, but forget Malcolm X. But
even MLK wasn't this soft guy.
They pretend he was somebody he wasn't. They forget about the Black Panthers
behind him with the shotgun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people try to wash these things as non-violent, or they try to pretend that violence isn't an option or that violence is unacceptable to oppose oppression. And the answer is sometimes violence is the only way to oppose oppression. And I'm not telling anybody to go and do anything in particular, but like I said, I do not understand how alligator fucking Auschwitz has been allowed to be constructed with next to no protests, next to no destruction, and like, again, there's a big difference between killing a person and doing some property damage. Like, these aren't the same fucking thing, people, and I just do not understand what your Second Amendment is for. Like, I don't get it. I do not understand.
That's a lot of it. That's a lot of
I don't get it. And I don't know if it's because I'm Canadian, and like, to me it feels like a switch. When the United States was threatening us, and there was actually like a thought, like, are the Americans actually gonna like come over here and start like actually putting troops on the ground? Me and like 7 other people that I'm all friends with, all super chill, all super like not violent people, all went, oh motherfucker. Everybody, because you know who does fight fascism and has a history of fighting fascism? Fucking Canadians, dude.
Yeah. But you're talking about, people that bleed, again, for their rights. We just had fucking Pride Month. Look at the history of Stonewall. Sometimes asking for your rights to actually exist as a human being sometimes takes violence. It really fucking does. Oh, yeah. And Stonewall, the symbol, is a brick because bricks had to be fucking thrown. Sometimes you got to fucking lay down.
Well, I think so. I would like to add to Seamus's point about like why people don't want to change what already is there, because if they make the change, they introduce something new and it goes wrong, they have to take responsibility of it. And I think so they're afraid to do that. They are afraid of taking the responsibility if something goes wrong, which is so stupid in my opinion. So stupid. I'm like, mistakes happen, yes. Some on, less magnitude and some on bigger magnitudes. That's how paradigms in societies shift. And it's about time. I don't know why these people, why are they so desensitized, especially in America? People are so desensitized that they do not realize that the time has come to cause that big paradigm shift and take responsibility of your actions. This is the consequences of your actions. Take responsibility for it, you motherfuckers.
I think it's super weird. In response to me saying that Canada has a history of fighting fascism, Smitty responded with, Canada has a history of supporting Western imperialism. And it's like, not only is that a non sequitur, not only is that a weird thing to say, and awfully fucking defensive, but Canada doesn't shy away from its history the same way that the United States does. Canada has been going out of its way for a very long period of time to adjust and fix those things on a policy set state. So, like, for example, right, we don't call fucking Indians, or we don't even call them Native Americans. They go by First Nations because that's what they chose to be called, and they operate as a separate nation occupying the same space, and they are treated as such. They are in our legislation, they are in our bills, they have to be consulted about their land. One of the biggest issues, and these are agreements and treaties that were signed years ago that are more respected now than they were then. So this is Canada taking responsibility for those wrongs that have been done through Western imperialism. And so it's such an odd, weirdly defensive, and kind of like you're trying to offend me and be argumentative on purpose because you do not like that the United States, compared to Canada, doesn't fight fucking fascism and never fucking did. And I'm sorry if that truth makes you uncomfortable. Like that sucks that it makes you uncomfortable, and it sucks that that's the way things are. But I don't know what to tell you. And is Canada perfect? No. Canada's still got things to do. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be considered. There's a lot of things going on. But like the big Alberta separatism thing, one of the reasons why it's not going to go through, and one of the reasons why Quebec has always had a hard time trying to do that separatist thing, is a whole swaths of the province are owned by First Nations people. They don't get to take it with them if they leave. So if Quebec doesn't, or Alberta doesn't want to be a part of fucking Canada anymore, the actual amount of land that they get to take is teeny tiny compared to the actual size of the province, and they don't get access to those resources anymore because they're cutting themselves off. It's absurdity. It's absolutely absurdity. My Unfinished Journey for 666 says, Asimov says, Violence is the last resort of the incompetent. Even as a kid who led a sheltered life, I thought that was naive. Yeah, I agree. I think that there's a degree of pragmatism that has to be accepted, and you can be like, listen, idealistically, we don't have to do these things, but we're not dealing with honest agents, and we are not in an idealistic world. Gaza is happening. Do you think Israel's gonna stop if you slap them on the wrist and say, please don't do that? No.
Yeah, if our nation is accepting a literal Holocaust that is happening in our eyes, do you think that they're going to be as kind to us, their own people? They are putting, the infrastructure in place to do something on the same scale here. You know what I mean? What ICE is the brown shirts.
Yeah.
You have to acknowledge this and get off your fucking ass.
I mean, one of the things Davros has said on a semi-regular basis is Nazis aren't people. And, like, that's a very Canadian ideology to have. Like, because it's like, we don't deal with this here. This is not the way that you can't tolerate the intolerant.
Speaking of what you just said about Canada, I mean, yeah, you guys are far from perfect. I mean, you say that, but
we got our hands in cookie jars we shouldn't have our hands in.
Sure, but you've over time have acknowledged these wrongs.
Yes.
Okay, you've actually said these things out loud. We refuse to.
Yeah.
We refuse to acknowledge the Trail of Tears and all the genocide we committed to the Native Americans here. You know what I mean?
On a whole, from my understanding of the American school system, the United States school system, and the way that the average American understands the freeing of the slaves and the Underground Railroad, they don't actually seem to grasp where the Underground Railroad ended. Right. Like, it just went off into the distance, and the United States slaves were free somewhere in America, and it's like, no, it ended in like, they came out the other end in Canada, guys. Canada has had gay
Mexico.
rights and or Mexico. Canada has had gay rights for years, and our society has not collapsed. We have like stronger medical shit for years, and we're fine. Like, it's okay. Like, calm down. It's not a big deal.
I mean, we have shitty memories. We don't acknowledge that the Confederates were fucking traitors that should have been hung and executed for it, instead of being honored and let them continue to live as they did. So many of them, especially fucking Robert E. Lee, who was a fucking racist, piece of shit. We don't acknowledge the fact that the black folks here actually had a bigger role in freeing themselves than we ever fucking did. Because whenever all of the asshole rednecks went to war and started attacking, the North, everybody was still left behind, said, fuck this, we're not going to be slaves anymore. We're going to shut this place down, and we might attack you too.
And like, it's one of those things that doesn't get like imbibed. So like, as much as you can be like, oh, it's in some textbooks, it's taught in some schools, it's taught to different degrees in different areas, even within the same city.
Usually in college, because you're not allowed to talk about this stuff in high schools. If people talk about this stuff in high schools, they get picketed, they get attacked. It's DEI. It's bigoted stuff. You're attacking white people. You're trying to make all of these white kids have guilt and make themselves feel different.
Well, the Trump regime is literally deleting history and has been deleting history since it got in office. So like, I just think it's it doesn't fucking basis. It doesn't stick in the I'm gonna call it the American. I don't even want to call it the United States anymore. This America ideology. The America ideology is like, I have a gun, an American flag, and I'm shooting at a tornado. It's like, you're insane. What are you talking about? I think that people, particularly on the internet, are coming to a bit of a head and coming to a clash because nobody is placating the Americans anymore online. And it's causing a lot of, the people who are from the United States aren't used to that. They're used to everybody just being like, yeah, okay, whatever, pat on the head, whatever you say, yeah. And now they're getting pushback and they don't like it. And it's like, no, you don't understand. Everybody always already thought this about you. But we all memed on it and didn't really care because you weren't really a problem. And now you've made yourself a problem, and everybody's telling you exactly how much of a problem you are. And half of the time, people from the United States are responding with, "What? You're not from here. You don't know about us."
You're here for our
but then
freedoms.
also being like, actually, everybody knows about us. We're really important. It's like, can you don't even you don't know what you're talking about.
You'd be speaking German if it wasn't for us.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh my God. All right. Well, we should get out of here. Apparently, FTFE is going live, so feel free to go check it over there. We'll be live for 2 hours. Best wishes to Barry. Hopefully, he's feeling better. John can go fuck himself. Bigots suck, and we'll catch you all next time. Any last words, guys?
No.
Someone said that they're contacting my local law enforcement. I had a question for them. Are you referring to them by my proper name, or are you referring to them referring me to them by Mayor Hussein? Just let me know, yeah, so that I know what to expect when they turn up at my doorstep. And bring it on, bitch. Bring it on.
What the fuck?
All any law enforcement person has to do is to look at your fucking Twitter and look at mine, and they will see the difference. And you can fuck right off. I'm here. I'm waiting. Bring it on, bitch.
I'll make sure that your links to the Jib podcast are down below. So everybody can go find it. So if you do want to learn a little bit about American history and what the government of America gets up to, or the United States gets up to, check out the Jib podcast. Something else, Mania? You said, oh.
Thing on the wall down there.
Yeah.
No, right. I was just looking at it.
See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Fuck Friday.
Don't
Don't Fuck Friday.
Don't
Fuck Friday.
It's going to be fun.